Betway sponsors Froch versus Groves 2 on Sky Sports.
This is James Holder for iFL TV. I'm in Westfields today at the St George Groves workout. Also working out today, James DEGALE'S. Just bumped into AMBROSE Mendy. How are we doing, Ambrose?
Yeah, I'm fine, thanks. Yourself?
I'm very well, I'm very well. Can you talk to us a little bit about James's mental state and how his preparation's been?
Preparation's been A1, and that's due to the fact that James had fabulous amounts of notice ahead of this fight, which is something that has not happened in the last 4, 5, 6 fights. All of them have been fought on really short notice. So therefore Jim's been able to put a careful plan in place, knowing the opponent, mandated of course. Nothing's gone wrong. It's been a wonderful camp.
With James having an undefeated American opponent in Random Rares, does that mentally get him more up for the fight?
Most definitely. What it is, James is going to fight scared going into it. And of course, as we all know, the adrenaline kicks in, and once you get into the ring, if it doesn't, you're in trouble. But I fully expect that to be the case with regards to this fight. James has seen quite a bit of Brandon Gonzalez. You don't get to the position that he got to unless you are capable and competent. And he's also surrounded himself with the very experienced Gary Shaw. And from a training point of view, with Virgil training him, he couldn't really look for a better trainer if he wanted to. But so it comes down to one fighter against another. What I'm looking for in James, obviously, is a victory. And I'm sure that's what's going to happen.
Do you think this is going to increase James's profile? His profile, in my opinion, has been a lot higher than it is now. Fighting on Sky, being involved in a fight of this magnitude, do you think it's going to lift him back up?
Yeah, it's a really weird situation, but when you've got a promoter, who is almost your generation, laughs at the same things you do, has got the same kind of musical appreciation, even though I think Eddie's got 2 left feet, it makes all the difference in the world. Between James and myself, there's a gulf. What I bring to the table is experience, intuition, foresight, and assurance. What James brings to the table is unbelievable skill that you and I have not even yet begun to fathom. It's there. And of course, from a cardiovascular point of view, from fitness, endurance, and also tactical know-how, Jim McDonnell has just given James everything. But above all this comes the natural God-given ability of James. And as everybody knows, when you've got natural God-given ability, you've got to add some sweat to it. You've got to put the work in. You've got to have the work ethic, the work ethos. And that's what James has got. He acknowledges and loves the fact that people are now showing him some stuff that he's not seen since the days of Frank Warren. It's there, it's happening. The recognition factor, all of this tells me, scale of 10, perhaps we've seen James on 3. He's going to go to 10, no question.
Ambrose, I'd like to talk to you a little bit about the main event. Froch defending his IBF and WBA titles against George Groves. How do you see that one playing out?
Well, first of all, let me just give the respect to both fighters. Carl for his longevity, his demeanour, the fact that he's travelled to fields afar in a way that perhaps only Nigel Benn has. But let me come back to George Groves. Wonderfully gifted, marvellously skilled, and is of course a mad Nigel Benn fan. As we've seen recently in the press, George actually told me this some time ago. So it's difficult for me to get a real sort of hate thing on him, and I shouldn't do that anyway. How I see this fight shaping out, I think it's an absolute war. I think from the first bell they're going at it. They're going at it. And there's 2 interesting scenarios. If they go at it in the middle of the ring, George Groves wins. If they go at it against the ropes, Carl Froch wins, no shadow of a doubt. No shadow of a doubt. George is very brave, he's very cunning. I expect Carl Froch to prevail. I really do, in a war of attrition. It might go a bit longer than people think it's going to go, but it will be a war. There is no other way for these 2 guys to fight. This isn't Ben and Eubank 2, where people think like if I use some of this tactical noose and that. No, it's not. It's for pride, it's for prejudice, it's for all the things, the ingredients you could want a fight to be. And from a public point of view, the way that Carl Froch has turned the persona around, the nonsense that, you know, George is asking now for another different referee, which for me is, as a second generation immigrant in this country, is laughable. I'm as Cockney as jelly deals, as African as groundnuts. To say that Carl Froch's Polish grandparent means that this person might give a bias or whatever, with the greatest respect in the world, line up all the British referees and go back 2 generations. I think you'll find we've got a few immigrants there. It's crazy. So no, my message to the 2 guys is great fight, was last time, will be this time. I hope at the end of it you embrace. I hope that you embrace.
How important is that?
For boxing, it means continuity, it means lasting longevity. It's they owe it to the sport. And I don't think Carl's going to be the one saying, I don't want to embrace. They've got to.
There's some genuine hostility, isn't there, between these
Well, if they don't, I'm going to have to start referring to George as Herr Groves. I think that's a German for Mr., isn't it?
Okay, you've lost me on them one, Ambrose.
Okay.
You've lost me on them one.
Okay.
Listen, I really appreciate the breakdown, sir. Thank you for giving me a bit of time today. Like I said, I'm really looking forward to catching myself and James DeGale during the fight week.
Yep.
I think, as I said, I think him being on the event adds to it. It's great.
Most
it really
definitely.
Is.
Most definitely.
Ambrose, thank you, sir.
God bless. Take care.
Again soon. Thank you very much.
Pleasure.
Betway sponsors Froch vs Groves 2 on Sky Sports.